I think people want to hear from you, Linda. How do you feel about it being 20 years? Um, I mean, that's the big question.
Well, initially, my reasoning for starting the charity was because I'd been told there was nothing more that could be done for me, and my quality of life. If I had said 1 out of 10, I was probably exaggerating. I couldn't get out of bed. I had double vision really badly. I lost the hearing in my left ear. I was as though somebody who'd had a stroke. I slurred my words. I choked on my food. I couldn't recall vocabulary. I couldn't put a sentence together and it come out of my mouth to make sense. The left-hand side of my body was numb with pins and needles, twitching muscles, restless legs, spasms, terrible pains. Did I say I lost my bowel and bladder control? I've lost where I got to. But it was awful. I couldn't achieve anything, do anything. It was absolutely awful. So when I eventually managed to find out about LDN and get a prescription, and it was amazing for me. After 3 weeks, cognitively, it was like living in a television set that wasn't tuned in, and I could suddenly start to see and hear and think. I mean, losing yourself, which is what I did, to actually be able to think, which made me feel like myself again, even if, that's all that had come back. And of course, I was in a wheelchair when I wasn't in bed, and I slept all the time. And anyway, I just, after 3 weeks, started to improve. And it was a case of, what do I want to do? I literally was at a crossroads. What do I want to do? Do I want to carry on with my life and say I'm okay? Or do I want to help all those people that were in that deep, dark place I was in? Because I did contemplate ending it all, but that's another story. So it was a no-brainer. I wanted to help other people. I had spoken to a neurologist from the MS Society who said that the only way I would be taken seriously, rather than being some nutcase woman with MS, was to start up a registered charity so that it proves that what I'm saying was legitimate. Well, that took 5 months, and it cost a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of disappointment, and we finally got it. So then it was a case of, okay, I wanted to get LDN into clinical trials to have it readily available for people with MS and other conditions that LDN could treat as a first-line treatment. But there were only like 400 people in the UK taking LDN. There were only like 2 prescribers in the UK. And at that time, many of them were prescribed LDN from a doctor, I can't even remember his name now, in the US. And he got the script filled in the US, and the drugs were shipped to England. But then that changed. That wasn't allowed. So that made it really difficult. But if you want to get clinical trials, you've got to have the support from the medical professionals to help you push it forward. But they weren't there. There was no, there were only a few doctors that were prescribing LDN 20 years ago. So I had to think, well, okay, I've tried this. I've not done so many doors. I've made my knuckles bleed and it's not working. I've got to change track. So the answer was education, that we'd got to get all the education together that we'd got and help educate the medical professionals to get them on board, get them prescribing it, so that when you talk about clinical trials, everyone's going to say, well, I don't even know what LDN is. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been a snowball effect. And Sarah helps us with the LDN masterclass, the guides, we've got the books, we do the conferences, and we're doing everything we possibly can to help educate prescribers. Because if you've got one prescriber that is a prolific prescriber for many different conditions in quite a large practice, just think how many lives that one prescriber can touch. And it's not just doctors and naturopaths, but nurse practitioners as well. I mean, they are probably one of the most prolific prescribers, because I would say they have more time to give to a patient than a doctor. So that's, you know, really what we're about and what we're doing.